Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're tackling a Leetcode problem called minimize the maximum difference of pairs. It sounds a little twisty, but don't worry. We're going to break it down step by step until it makes perfect sense. Alright, let's look at the goal. We're given a list of numbers, which the problem calls nums, and another number, p text. We need to form p pairs of numbers from our list. The important rule is that each number can only be used in one pair. For each pair, we calculate its difference, just the absolute value of one number minus the other. Our mission is to pick our pairs in such a way that the single biggest difference out of all the pairs we've formed is as small as it can possibly be. We then return that minimized maximum difference. Let's walk through this example. We have a list of numbers and we need to find two pairs. A great first step in problems involving differences is usually to sort the array. It just makes things easier to reason about. So our sorted list becomes 1, 1, 2, 3, 7, and 10. Now we need to pick two pairs. To keep the maximum difference low, it makes sense to choose pairs that are close to each other. We could pair the two ones, giving a difference of 0. Then we could pair the 2 and the 3, giving a difference of 1. In this case, the maximum difference among our chosen pairs is just 1. That seems really good. It turns out, that's the best we can do. So what's our first instinct? Well, we could try to generate every single possible way to form p pairs. But if you think about it, that's a huge number of combinations, especially for a large list. This brute force approach would be way too slow and time out for sure. We need a more elegant solution. Whenever you see a problem that asks you to minimize a maximum value or maximize a minimum value, a little light bulb should go on in your head, and it should be flashing binary search. Instead of searching for the pairs themselves, we can search for the answer. We can search for what that final minimized maximum difference could be. So how does that work? Well, we know the smallest possible difference is 0, and the largest is the difference between the biggest and smallest numbers in the whole array. Our answer must lie somewhere in that range. We can binary search within this range. We'll pick a middle value, let's call it our threshold, and then we ask a simple question. Is it possible to form our p pairs if we're not allowed to have any difference larger than this threshold? If the answer is yes, we know this threshold is achievable, so we can try an even smaller one. If the answer is no, our threshold was too strict, and we need to allow for bigger differences. Now for the crucial part, the check function. How do we figure out if a given threshold works? This is where a greedy approach comes in handy. After sorting the array, we can just walk through it. We look at two adjacent numbers. If their difference is within our allowed threshold, great, we'll make them a pair. Since we've used both numbers, we can skip both of them and continue our search from the next available element. If the difference is too big, then the first number in that potential pair can't be matched with this neighbor. And since the array is sorted, it definitely can't be matched with anything further down the line either. So we have to discard that first number and just move on to the next element. We keep doing this and count how many pairs we successfully formed. Okay, here is the complete code. It might look like a bit, but we've already discussed all the pieces. You can see the main function, which we call minimize max, sets up the binary search. And inside it, we have our helper function, which we can call canForm p pairs, that does the greedy check we just talked about. We'll look at these two parts separately. This is the heart of the binary search. We set up our left and right boundaries for the search, which represent the smallest and largest possible answers. The while loop keeps running as long as our search space is valid. Inside, we calculate a midpoint. Then we call our helper function to check if this mid value is a feasible maximum difference. If it is, we store it as a potential answer and try to find an even smaller one by moving our right boundary down. If it's not feasible, we know our mid was too small, so we have to move our left boundary up. And here's that greedy check in more detail. We start a counter for our pairs at 0. We loop through the sorted array. If the difference between the current number and the next one is within our allowed max diff, we increment our pair counter, and, this is the key, we advance our position by 2, because we've just used up both of those numbers. If the difference is too large, we can't make a pair, so we just advance our position by 1 to try again from the next element. Finally, we return whether the number of pairs we found is at least the p that we needed. So how efficient is this approach? The initial sort takes n log n time, where n is the number of items in the list. The binary search part runs a number of times proportional to the logarithm of the range of values. Inside each step of the search, we do one pass over the array, which takes order n time. When you put it all together, the sorting step is typically the slowest part, so the overall time complexity is big O of n log n. For space, we're mostly just using the input array, so the extra memory needed is very small. often considered order 1 or constant space, aside from what the sorting algorithm itself might need. So to recap, the big lesson here is to recognize the minimize the maximum problem pattern. This pattern is a huge signal to use binary search on the result itself. Once we have that idea, the key was to figure out an efficient check function. And for that, sorting the array first, followed by a simple greedy pass, was the perfect tool for the job. By combining these two powerful techniques, we can solve the problem very efficiently. And that's it. I hope this explanation made the problem much clearer. If this helped you out, I'd really appreciate a like on the video, and maybe subscribe for more breakdowns like this. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, there's always the Boba Fund. Thanks for watching, keep up the great work, and I'll see you in the next one.